Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. You guys already know this is a field video, so it will be absolutely bonkers. In today's video, we're going to go into the Texas housing market. We're going to go into the fire selling and liquidation sales that new home builders are having right now in the local area of Texas. So some of the stuff that we're going to go over today, you guys can see behind me, you know, there's a construction site, and I'm going to walk this way because I'm going to show you guys, you know, something that's really special that I'm really trying to warn people about that are, you know, basically purchasing real estate a little bit too soon. So I'm going to walk up here and I'm going to show you guys, but pay attention to how many of these lots are available. So it goes all the way down there, you guys, you know, and then also behind me, I just wanted to point out, you know, basically other than this cement over here, you guys can see behind me, right, all of these lots are available. So I'm going to show you as I walk up here, but let me tell you guys what's going to be in this video. Now, where I'm going to start is basically by talking about, you know, homes that are currently under construction. We're going to talk first about hidden inventory, and then after that, we're going to talk about current supplies, and then after that, we're going to talk about the really cool stuff, you guys, which is the price cuts and buying incentives that are going on right now. But before I kind of get into all of that, let me pull up a map and show you guys exactly where I'm at in Texas. All right, so let's pull up the map here. Now, obviously, we start with Houston. We go north to around where 242 is, which is south of Gronger Land. Now, I'm going to be going above 242 and below 242 to a master plan community that is planning on building 5,200 brand new homes, and they're about half done from what I can tell with the community. Now, the name of this master plan community is called Artavia. Now, at first I thought it was Artavia, you guys, but it is definitely not Artavia. I've been corrected multiple times. It's called Artavia, and again, I'm going to be going to many different, you know, areas in this community just to show you guys how much worse the housing market is actually in. And you guys can see behind me all of those lots. You guys see that? And my aperture should be better. You guys should be able to see that clearly. That's all available. Look at this. All available. There's my truck right there. Basically, to the left of me right now and to the right of me right now are all lots from Highland and from Perry. And you guys, wait till I talk to you guys about the price cuts from Highland. You guys are gonna freak out. So I've already talked to like 6 builders right now. I figured out, you know, what the buying incentives are. I've also figured out the price cuts and things of that nature. But I just wanted to walk up here a little bit so I can show you what's happening. But as I'm walking up here, do me a favor, guys, for all of this effort, for the boots on the ground intel, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, and let me know if you want me to keep doing this. This is an entire roundabout of basically lots. Okay, so again, you guys can see behind me, see all those signs right there? You guys see all these signs going all the way down there? So all of this is available. It's probably going to take them quite some time, obviously, to sell this unless they start doing like massive liquidation sales right now in addition to what they already have. But look at this, guys. Look at what is right behind me. You see that? Framed house right behind me. Let me ask you guys something. Do you want to be the owner of this house right there? How would you like to be essentially the only home in this entire roundabout area right now? How would you like to be, you know, in the construction zone for probably the next 4 or 5 years? It's not going to be good for whoever it is not sold. Let me pan around. You guys see it is available still, so it's not sold. So whoever buys that house, you guys, is going to be surrounded with construction for as long as it takes them to sell all this property. And let me pan around so you guys can see how far this goes back. Do y'all see all the available signs back there? So anyways, hopefully I'm going to be doing some really amazing drone shots and I can show you how much more building is actually going on in the area right in front of me. This is a huge master plan community, but regardless, guys, let's get to the fun stuff. I'm going to take you to the next scene and we're going to talk more about hidden inventory and inventory that is under construction. All right, guys, so let's talk about homes under construction or hidden inventory. So I'm walking down one of the communities right now, or one of the phases that they're trying to close out, and there are multiple stages of construction. It's like an ecosystem of new building. Right behind me, you can see a Weston spec home right there. I don't know if you guys can see the available sign right there. So that's available. A lot of these houses are available, and I'll pan here in a minute. Let me walk a little bit down the street. You guys can see the framed house right there. And if I turn, there's about 3 or 4 spec houses over there as well. Now, I'm also questioning the houses that, and we'll walk through here, guys. You guys can pretty much see behind me, but I'm questioning whether or not the homes that have sold on them, you know, is it really sold? And I don't think it is, because I'm actually coming up to one right now that says it's sold, and someone's actually touring it. So pretty crazy stuff. You guys can see that lot is available right there as well. Let me kind of just get past here real quick. And I'm gonna get to the really juicy stuff here in a little bit, guys, which is the price cuts and the buying incentives. And that's really the fire sale and liquidation stuff that we really wanna learn about. But let me make my way up here a little bit more. And also what I'm noticing is, as far as the quality of construction, now that I've been to like Seattle, Las Vegas, and Phoenix, it's just so clear, you guys, how much different the work sites are here versus pretty much anywhere else. Now you can see behind me as well, that is available, so spec home. This lot is available. Lot next to it is apparently sold. I'm not 100% sure if I believe that. The lot up here is available. Now this is a spec home you guys are about to see here by Weston. Weston's got a lot of spec homes out here. Look at this. So that is costing them money. That is available. And I intentionally went down a street like this because, you know, my other videos, you know, people were like, oh, they're not available, there's no contract, blah, 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 blah. So this street is really kind of pointing out what is available and what is not available. So I'm gonna keep making my way down here right now, you guys. Still a couple of construction workers. Now, obviously, as you can see there, that is available. But this is a really wild type of setup that we have here, because obviously some of these houses people actually live in already. So again, you guys, if it's me, you know, I don't know if I would want to buy, you know, a house in a brand new community that has a lot more houses to sell, because, you know, the risk of, obviously, you know, the more that these builders continue to do price cuts, the more it's going to hurt any of these current residences. Now let me pull up the Fred economic data chart real quick to show you guys the amount of new construction. And as you guys can see right now, you know, this was updated February 16th. It currently shows we have 1.67 million homes currently under construction. Okay, so that is, you know, in other words, you guys, that is a massive amount of new construction that is going to continue to flood our market. And I always like to start these videos talking about things that are, you know, under construction, because any of the trends that we're seeing right now and any of the trends that we're talking about are going to be magnified as demand continues to get crushed and as these new construction homes continue to hit the market. So again, and I'm gonna do some drone overlays so you can kind of see where I'm at exactly. And if we look at this drone footage, you guys, I mean, there are probably 5 builders in here right now, and my estimate is probably, you know, from talking to the sales offices, probably about half of this stuff is available and half of it is already sold. And again, super duper risky if you purchase too soon, especially in a new build community. And again, you know, listen to what I'm saying. Even though I'm saying half of these are available from the sales offices and, you know, kind of according to these signs, you know, I've got people that have commented on my channel that said they have worked for new home builders or they purchased in a new home building community, and all the builders do is they just put sold signs on the property. Now I'm coming up to another street right here, and I'm gonna pan because it looks like in this street, everything except for, you know, that one house right there is available. And these are Weston homes. There's a Weston home down there. It's trying to do an open house. But this stuff, as this stuff just continues to sit here and they continue to put more and more money in all of this new construction, it's just going to put more and more pressure on new home builders to have to liquidate their houses, because the other problem here is demand is completely crushed. Demand is completely crippled. They're banking on, I believe, because they're building way too much. This is really, you know, overexposing themselves. I think they're banking on, you know, spring inventory coming back, or they started all of this probably when interest rates were low, and now that interest rates are high, quite frankly, you guys, these builders right here are super unlucky and basically got rug pulled. Either way, let's move on to the next part of the video right now, which is price cuts. All right, guys, I just got to the sales offices in the Artavia master plan community. You guys can see behind me all of the different builders that are in this community. So I'm actually going to, you know, walk around a circle of all these sales offices. You guys can see here, I've already got all of the flyers. So we're going to talk about the insane, absolutely ridiculous buying incentives that are going on right now. But one thing I want you guys to realize real quick is basically the price point right here. This is a little bit bigger houses right here. A little bit further back behind me, this is a huge master plan community. There's several different price points, but the ones that I'm in and going to talk to you guys about the incentives and price cuts are in the low $400,000s to about $600,000. Now, they do have more communities, obviously, guys, with $300,000 to low $300,000, but this is where their main setup is. I mean, this is enchanting. This is nice. You know, it's not like the places in Seattle that I went to, or Vegas or Phoenix, but it is really nice. And I'm standing in the middle of the street, as you guys can see. So let's go over Highland first. Now, right behind me is Highland Homes. The incentives that they have right now as far as price cuts and buying incentives, it's matched by none of the builders that I went into. So Highland Homes is actually cutting prices over, you guys ready for this? $100,000. I'm looking at the flyer right now in my hand. Several houses, all of the spec homes are cut over, you guys, over $100,000, $108,000, $106,000, $105,000. But not only are the price cuts $100,000 on the Highland Homes in this community, in addition, Highland Homes is offering an additional $25,000 in buying incentives. So absolutely outrageous, you guys. A lot of buying incentives, a lot of liquidation. It looks like in this community, you know, normally it's Lennar that's kind of ahead of the curve, but what I'm noticing is Highland Homes is actually ahead of the curve in this master plan community. Now, right in front of me is David Weekley Homes, and I had to do this route a little bit different because I have to play with the sun. Now, what I want to say, and I'm holding the flyer as you can see right here, but what I want to say about David Weekley is, you know, right off the bat, they have cut prices about $45,000 to $50,000. And the thing with David Weekley Homes is not only is David Weekley offering these $40,000, $50,000 off their price points, they're also offering additional incentives for closing costs of about $20,000. Now, the really cool thing about David Weekley Homes is they are actually semi-custom homes. And let me pan here so you guys can see the office. There's David Weekley right there. I don't know how well you guys can see because of the shade. But I wanted you to know that, again, I walked in every single one of these sales offices and I talked to them. And what I'm, you know, basically seeing is about 50% of their inventory is available. So 50% available, 50% sold or under contract. And my question is, you know, when I've been touring this community, I've seen several houses that say sold. The reality is when it comes to new construction, that property is not sold until the buyer is in that house. New construction has some of the sharpest and largest cancellation rates in the industry. That car driving right there, no joke. A subscriber just pulled over and said, "Oh my gosh, real estate mindset. I flew in from Florida. You should represent me. I'm a cash buyer. I'm about to put an offer on a house." And I'm like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Brother, I cannot set up my back end because I believe with all my heart in what I'm saying." So I'm walking Artavia and someone is about to make an offer. Anyways, they gave him my business card. He doesn't even have any, I feel bad because he doesn't have any representation. You guys, he's a cash buyer and he's not being repped. So I basically explained to him, like, man, you know, whether you use me, anyone else, don't be making offers on these houses unless you have, you know, some type of representation. Because remember, you guys, sales agents and you see all the sales offices down there, they're not licensed like us. So they can literally make stuff up and there's really no penalty. But anyways, let me move on to Perry Homes. What you see behind me is Weston and Highland right there. But let's talk about Perry Homes. So Perry Homes has price cuts of about $41,000. Pretty much on all of their spec homes. So Perry is cutting prices about $40,000, $50,000. Price points to low 400,000s. But on top of that, they're doing a $25,000 buying incentive that you can use for whatever you want. On top of that, they're offering a $3,000 BTSA to realtors, which means they give realtors an extra commission if they sell their houses. So really, really amazing price cuts going on right now in this master plan community, anywhere from $40,000 to over $100,000 being shed off prices. Let's pull up the Fred economic data chart just so that we can see what we're at as far as the national average of price decline. So as you guys can see here, this is the prices for new home sales. You guys can see that we did peak in October at $496,800. Currently, in this chart updated February 24th, currently we're at $427,500, which represents a decline in just 4 months, by the way. In just 4 months, decline new construction of $69,300, which represents roughly almost 14% in just 4 months. Think about it. And again, we just talked about all of the new construction. So what do you think is going to happen? Almost every one of these builders right here is offering, you know, really extraordinary temporary buy downs, and that cost a lot of money. So these guys are fire selling, and the beautiful thing about all this, you guys, it's only just begun. All right, guys, so I drove to an entirely different community called Bellaire. That's right across from 242. And the reason I did that is I wanted to talk about inventory in this part of the video. And basically, you guys, there is so much. This is a master plan community, almost as big as where I was just at. And you guys can see all of those lots. Look at all that land. I mean, there's so much land as far as the eye can see. But also, there's a lot of inventory right now, a lot of spec homes right now where I'm walking through. Pretty much all those houses you guys see right there are spec homes ready to be sold that are available on the market. And I'm walking down a street right now where to the right of me are homes that are already built, as you guys can see, and they have their available signs there. I wanted to walk some houses that said they were available. And then to the left of me, you guys can see the lots. Now, and again, look at all of that land. This is a master plan community, and what's going to happen if you buy in this community is it's probably going to take 10 to 15 years for them to sell this, because it looks like they are way behind the curve on this one, you guys. They've built their clubhouses, they built the streets, they built, you know, certain infrastructure like that, but there's just barely any homes here, and the homes that they do have are, you know, they're being sold for ridiculous price cuts, ridiculous buying incentives. You guys can see behind me, look at all of that's available, you know, and this is already ready. These are spec homes. So we're walking through spec homes. You know, this lot's available. Those houses that I just panned through are available. This house behind me is available. You guys can see that house is available. That house is available. See, those houses are available as well. Those houses are available. So there's a lot available right now. So again, let's just recap. So not only do we have historical high new construction, we went over that chart. I showed you new construction in the other community. You guys see the new construction here. We have record fast, record high price cuts going on right now. But not only that, the buying incentives right now with these rate buy downs and the $20,000 in closing costs and $30,000 in closing costs, it's you know, I don't know how else to say it, you guys. These are all red flags. You know, the house market is going to crash. It's already crashing. It always starts with new construction. You know, it's always like this. But I'm going to do one extra, you guys. Let's pull up the Fred economic data chart of months of supply for new construction. Now, as you guys can see, this updated February 24th, and we now have 7.9 months of supply. So that did go down a little bit, and that's why the inflation went up. That's why all the CPI, the reality of the situation is, we're only in the second inning here. We haven't even, you know, the housing market crash really hasn't even hit mainstream media. So again, you know, we're experiencing all of this, price crashes, you know, inventory growth across the nation without hyper supply. Even though, you know, with the 7.9 months of supply, that is telling us that it is a buyer's market. But it went from like 8.5 to about 7.4 months of inventory. And again, the reason that is rates went down. And what happened recently is rates went back up. So all of the incentives that we've already talked about, all of the inventory that I've showed you guys, all of that is just going to continue because the rates are in the 7% again. Unfortunately, my audio just died on that entire scene. I didn't know that until I got home, so I'm super heartbroken. I tried so hard to show you guys the reality of that community. So I'm going to do some drone overlay as I conclude so that you guys understand what I was trying to say. Now, obviously, we started with the Artavia master plan community. Now, that community probably has another 40% to go for completion. Highlands is already slashing prices over 100,000, buying incentives like crazy. Now, I believe, guys, the further we go into 2023 and even into 2024, that those builders are going to be even more desperate to continue to fire sell their properties. Now, what I found very interesting is right across the street, even though there's already a master plan community, we stumbled upon another community called Bellaire. Now, Bellaire is even more dangerous to buy in because even though they have all their streets and facilities made, that only gives them a legal right to sell their houses. Now, if you buy in a community like that, understand that it may take over a decade to complete that master plan community, because obviously, guys, buying demand is broken. So hopefully you guys will stay liquid this year. Hopefully you'll find some incredible deals here in Texas. Now, other than that, guys, I really appreciate you following along my boots on the ground metro video. And don't forget, let me know if you want me to continue it and like this video. Now, other than that, you guys have a great day today. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck and I hope you win.